Good morning. This week on Weekly Insights, I'm going to take time to answer a question sent in by a taxpayer. And the question, it's a two-part question. It's what's your view on take-home squad cars, and do I think it saves the taxpayers money? So, as a fleet manager, I have a lot of experience within the fleet of the sheriff's office. So, I believe there's mixed reviews from the take-home vehicle program. Some people argue there's faster response times, but there's really no data supporting faster response times from personnel that are currently on duty. However, calling in off-duty personnel from home could reduce some of that response time because their car is already there. They get in their car and they can go to the scene instead of going down to the CJC. So, another benefit here is a benefit. Marked patrol vehicles can increase visibility throughout neighborhoods when they're parked and people are off duty, providing that the vehicles aren't parked in garages. Deputies do maintain their take-home vehicles a lot better than they do the fleet vehicles. And take-home vehicles do increase morale for the deputies, which is important as well. A deputy does save time by not having to load his equipment in a fleet vehicle, unload the equipment at the end of the day, and he also knows, or she also knows, what's in that vehicle, and it's ready for duty. Some of the negative impacts to the taxpayers could be higher costs. The initial expenditures to add the vehicles and the equipment and the upfitting and all that cost a lot of money because you have to increase the fleet a lot to make sure that everybody gets a take-home vehicle. Another problem is the current take-home vehicle doesn't include all the deputies that are assigned at the McChesney Park Village for their assignment, which could create some labor issues because some deputies are getting benefits that others aren't. So that is an issue. It hasn't came up yet, but it could. Expanding the fleet may lead to increased expenses to fuel, maintenance costs, preventative maintenance, tires, insurance premiums, and higher risk for accidents because there's just simple numbers. There's more vehicles on the street. And there is currently misuse in the take-home program at the direction of the sheriff. It's mainly from the upper administrative staff, such as the sheriff himself, the chief deputy, and the jail administrator. It's common knowledge that they use their vehicles after hours for personal use, which is in violation of the sheriff's office policy. The sheriff is regularly seen driving to his county-owned vehicle to the local casino after normal work hours for personal and socializing for himself. So that has to be tightened up, and an audit needs to be done on who has vehicle. And at the current sheriff's direction, many people in jail administration have been assigned take-home vehicles. Also, part-time background investigators have been assigned take-home vehicles, and these vehicles are driven for such things as golf outings and personal business. I'm not really sure the purpose of jail administration needs to have a take-home vehicle because their workplace is in a fixed location. If they do have to get called in after hours, they go straight to the fixed location. It's not in different parts of the county, so I'm not sure how cost-effective that is. There are some security concerns, when parking patrol vehicles in and around the off-duty deputies' homes, such as burglaries, vandalism, ambush scenarios, and also, accidental damage does happen at times. So to answer the question, is it beneficial to the taxpayers to have take-home vehicles for the deputies? The program's been in place now for several years, and I think a true cost analysis study needs to be conducted now that the program has been in place for the maintenance costs, the fuel costs, insurance costs, accident data, and how much amount the capital budget has increased. So to truly answer the question, that cost analysis study has to be done, and a comprehensive audit has to be done to make sure people that need vehicles have vehicles. I think there's some waste there that needs to be tightened up with accountability. But overall, to answer the question, I do like the deputies having take-home vehicles if there's accountability and justification for people having the take-home vehicles. I know that was a long answer to your question, but it's kind of there's a lot of issues to think of. So have a great week, and we will talk to everyone next week. Thank you.